Sandra Bullock spent an entire movie strapped to a runaway bus next to Keanu Reeves. And decades later, she finally admitted what audiences suspected the whole time.
How sweet Keanu Reeves was and how it was
yeah.
hard for me to like really be serious. Like he would look at me and I'd be like,
The film was Speed, 1994, and the chemistry was so real that people were sure the two of them had to be dating off screen. They weren't. But sitting with Ellen in December 2018, Sandra confessed why staying professional was so hard. "I think of how sweet Keanu Reeves was and how handsome he was," she said, practically melting at an old still from the film. "He'd look at her," she admitted, "and she'd lose her train of thought completely." Then came the twist. 5 months later, Keanu came on that same show for the very first time, celebrating Speed's 25th anniversary, and Ellen played him Sandra's confession. His response? He'd had a crush on her too, the entire time, and neither of them ever knew.
Did you know that she had a crush on you? No?
She obviously didn't know I had a crush on her either.
Oh, wow.
When Ellen asked the obvious question, "So why didn't anything happen?" his answer was simple and very Keanu. The work came first. Two A-listers quietly crushing on each other, both too respectful to say a word, and friends for 30 years because of it. The internet still hasn't recovered. And if Sandra was the crush that almost happened, Winona Ryder is the one that apparently never stopped. The two met around 1987, presenting an award together, and they've made several films since, including Bram Stoker's Dracula. Promoting Destination Wedding in 2018, an interviewer asked why they remembered meeting so vividly. Winona didn't hesitate. "I had a pretty big, healthy crush on this guy." Keanu fired straight back. "I had a big, healthy crush on you too."
I mean, he's one of my favorite people to work with, to be around, and
View of the world, beautiful heart, beautiful spirit, and a damn fine actress.
oh my.
And when asked what happened to those crushes, Winona just grinned. "Oh, it's still raging." Keanu agreed. "They're still there."
Oh, it's still,
they're still there. They're
it's
just
still
like, yeah,
raging.
it's just like,
Trust me.
yeah,
It gets better. Winona is half convinced the two of them are actually legally married, because during a wedding scene in Dracula, director Francis Ford Coppola used a real Romanian priest who performed the whole ceremony for real. Keanu has said he thinks they make a good couple. 30 plus years of is it real, is it a bit? And nobody can tell, least of all them. This isn't new, by the way. The Keanu effect goes all the way back to the 1980s. Drew Barrymore was turning 16, celebrating at a club in Los Angeles when Keanu, her co-star from the 1986 movie Babes in Toyland, walked in, took her by the hand, led her outside, and put her on the back of his motorcycle. Decades later, on her own talk show, she told him that memory still lives rent-free in her heart.
We went and you took me on the ride of my life, and I was so free. I was such a free human being. And I hold it so dear because the older we get, the harder it is to get to that feeling.
"You took me on the ride of my life," she said, "and I was so free." She described skipping back into her party afterward, glowing, and called it the best Sweet 16 anyone could ask for. And here's the part that gets people. Keanu barely remembered doing it. To him, it was a Tuesday. To her, it was the moment she understood what freedom felt like. One small gesture for him, a core memory for her. That's the pattern, and it keeps repeating. Because it isn't only about crushes. The people who've known Keanu the longest describe something deeper. Carrie-Anne Moss has played Trinity to his Neo since the very first Matrix back in 1999. Promoting The Matrix Resurrections, she tried to put their bond into words and landed on a phrase that stuck. A soul friendship. She said she'd watched him grow over 20 years and was in awe of him. And Keanu, being Keanu, broke the sweetness with a grin. It's Trinity flavor. It's Carrie-Anne Moss, Trinity flavor. But the line that really lands is the one she wrote when she honored him as one of Time's 100 most influential people. "He's still the man," she said, who checks in on her during a brutal training day, exactly like he did on day one. 20 plus years of fame, and he just kept showing up as a friend. Sometimes the charm isn't romance or friendship, it's straight up awe. Ana de Armas found that out filming the John Wick spin-off Ballerina in Prague. Sitting with Jimmy Fallon in early 2023, she admitted she was wrecked. 4 months of filming down, 1 to go, sore and bruised head to toe.
I'm not gonna,
You were in-
you know,
really?
my body, my back, everything hurts.
You did
I'm
action
complaining,
stuff
I'm
in-
sore,
in
I'm
Bond.
bruised, you know.
She joked that her big action scene in a Bond movie had lasted about 15 minutes. This was a whole film, and then she caught herself because there was Keanu, a decade older, rolling, falling, throwing himself into every stunt without a single complaint.
Rolling and throwing me
Yeah.
and doing these crazy stunts, and I'm like, I can't complain anymore.
And he doesn't
And
complain?
no, never. He's just, you know,
Keanu.
he truly is the best. And
I can't complain anymore, she laughed. Because he is doing it. He truly is the best. What stuck with her was never the stardom. It was the way he treats everyone on set. Which brings us to the moment that explains all the others, and it happened to a complete stranger. Rewind about 25 years to right when The Matrix turned Keanu into a global superstar. A young, not yet famous Octavia Spencer was driving to pick up an audition script when her car died in the middle of a busy Beverly Hills intersection, covered in bird droppings, while she sat there in old sweats and a worn-through college tee. Drivers honked, nobody stopped. Then a guy in sunglasses and a motorcycle helmet rolled up and asked if she needed a hand. She froze. It was Keanu Reeves. She moved to push the car. He stopped her. No. He said, I'm gonna push you out of the street. You get in. So one of the biggest movie stars on the planet put his shoulder into a stranger's filthy car and shoved it to safety.
To pick up a script to read for an audition. So I wasn't really wearing any underwear. I was wearing sweat. The car hadn't been washed because I always parked underneath the tree, and there was bird crap all over the back. All of a sudden, this guy comes up with his sunglasses and motorcycle helmet, and I knew immediately it was Keanu Reeves. I thought he was going to get into the car. I got behind the car to push. He said, no, I'm going to push you out of the street. You get in. When people saw it was Keanu Reeves helping me, everybody came down.
And the second the crowd realized who it was, everyone came running to help. Octavia says she's seen every one of his movies on opening weekend ever since. That's the secret. The charm was never the jawline. It's that he actually means it. And here's the thing people forget. It is absolutely not just the women. Take Jonathan Groff, Keanu's co-star in The Matrix Resurrections. Ask him about training alongside a sweaty Keanu, and he doesn't even pretend to play it cool. He and Drew Barrymore once spent a whole segment just agreeing that the man is, in Groff's words, so hot.
Is in his jujitsu outfit.
Oh my God, so hot.
Sweating, fighting, like doing all it. Yeah, super hot, like
I
crazy
know.
hot.
I knew him.
And he took it to another level in 2025. Performing at the Tony Awards, Groff walked off the stage, climbed onto the armrests of Keanu's chair in the front row, and ran a hand down the side of his face mid-song. Keanu, about to make his own Broadway debut, looked stunned for a beat, then just threw up his Bill and Ted rock and roll hands and rolled with it. Groff later called it the best reaction ever. But the biggest one came from a comedy legend. Promoting Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in late 2024, Jim Carrey was asked about working with Keanu and didn't hold back. He praised that calm, beautiful, stoic nature, then delivered the line that went everywhere. He's the man that every man aspires to be. And here's the perfect ending. When Keanu was told what Carrey had said, he looked genuinely thrown. No, he didn't, he said, almost embarrassed, and then instantly turned the compliment around, calling Carrey kind, generous, a creative genius with a beautiful heart. Told he's the man every man wants to be, his first instinct was to praise someone else. And that, right there, is why nobody can handle Keanu Reeves' charm. It's not the looks, the motorcycle, or the John Wick cool. It's that every bit of it is real. The kindness, the humility, the way he makes whoever's across from him feel like the only person in the room. Women fall for him, men idolize him, total strangers never forget him, and he just keeps deflecting and riding off on his motorcycle like he has no idea. So which Keanu moment got you the most? Sandra's confession, Winona's still raging, or that stranger's car on Sunset Boulevard? Drop it in the comments. If this made you love him even more, hit like, subscribe, and tap the video on screen for another one. Thanks for watching.